Hello, welcome to you all. Please welcome. Join this conversation. Join this conversation. Today we are talking about trailblazers in nursing. Are you a trailblazer? Do you know a trailblazer? And with that said, would you like to join this conversation and be part of our dialogue today? As I look back in history, without a doubt that there are trailblazers today in nursing. Okay. So if you are a trailblazer, please join this conversation. Okay. And with that said, I'll just go through a list of, I would say, 8 trailblazers in history past. Okay. And hopefully that will start a conversation here. On the top of this list, of course, I will start with Mary Sequel. Have you heard that name before? Mary Sequel was a Jamaican born, okay, and she was instrumental during the Crimean War. All right, so history has it that regardless of racial discriminations, regardless of gender discriminations that she experienced, she was still triumphant in her role as a nurse trailblazer. So if we think today of those nurses that we work with who have path who have paved a path for nursing in some ramification, whether it be they wrote the first book on infection control, or they have done a research on best practices, who would be that nurse? Whether in your workplace or someone that you've recently read an article about, please put their name in the chat or come on. I have posted the link for you to be my guest. Okay. So formally speaking, my name is Niepu Kemu. Niepu Kemu Hall, Dr. Niepu Kemu Hall. I'm having so much fun. Don't even know how to introduce myself. I am the founder of Nurses in Charge. Thrived on connecting nurses globally, celebrating nurses' wins, and empowering nurses. So we take charge in doing so. How do we empower nurses? We advocate for nurses. We mentor nurses, especially nurses who are coming into the profession, whether they are still in nursing school, nurses who are currently practicing. So we use all of our vast expertise, and we pay it forward by empowering the nurses to do their best, to be their best, to achieve at their highest level of expert of uh, inspirations. Okay, so here we are, a list of these nurses. I mentioned Mary Sequel. All right, next is Florence Nightingale. Renowned. We've heard about Florence Nightingale being the founder of modern nursing. Okay, she really started the book, wrote the book, and threw the book at us on best practices. Okay, she was instrumental as well during the Crimean War. All right, she became a nurse during that time and really led as a leader during a time where nurses were demeaned. They weren't even recognized to be professionals, and she took the lead. Okay. The next nurse I want to mention today. Have you ever heard of the Red Cross, the American Red Cross? Hey guys, it was founded by a nurse. Go figure. We don't play. So Clara Barton was the nurse that founded the American Red Cross. Read about her, you will be amazed. Okay. Then we have Lillian Ward. Lillian Ward was a social activist. She went on bringing public health reforms, okay? And I mean, like, instrumental in the things we see today. Public health policies that governs us today, that really propels our practice today. Lillian Ward was the founder of that. Okay. Then we have Mary Elissa Mahogany. Oh my goodness, she was an equal opportunity activist, pioneering that, especially for black, brown, blue nurses, pink nurses, every racial background you think of. And come to think of it, if you have never tasted the venom of racial discrimination, listen, it is not it is not a fun deal. It is nothing that I would wish for my worst enemy. I don't even know if I have enemies, but I'm just saying that I have tasted racial discrimination. It is so bad. It is so horrific that no one should have to experience that. But it happens. It happens in our world today. It happens in our modern countries today. So wherever it is that you are charming in from, if you're in Africa, you're in Europe, you're in Asia, you're in the United States, wherever. If you are in on your break, on your lunch break, charm in. See me, I'm sitting in my car. Wherever you are a nurse and you are in charge. Take on that charge. Okay. So let's keep talking. The next nurse I really want to talk about as well is turn my page. Virginia Henderson. Have you ever heard of the 14 basic needs theorist? She wrote and pioneered this: physical needs, social needs, psychological needs. Virginia Henderson. Read on her, and your mind will be blown on how this nurse really pioneered 14 basic needs. Her theory is moving and breathing in our society today, in our nursing profession. All right, so the next nurse I want to rave about today is Dorothea Dix. She, listen, having I worked in mental health, psychiatric health, inpatient, outpatient, disaster responses. Mental health is a big deal. No matter where you work, you will find a patient who is experiencing and or has a comorbidity of mental illness, in addition to their surgical um, admission diagnosis, or they may be in labor and delivery. They may be wherever you find a patient. It's like pediatric. You will find a patient combating mental illness. So Dorothea Dix is
Okay, we are back on live. My camera shut off on me. But nurses in charge, no matter what, this show must go on. So, ladies and gentlemen, I left off explaining to you about Dorothy Dix. And lastly, I want to talk about Sister Callista Roy. My goodness. The Roy adaptation model. Okay. She went into depth with this one, and we see it in our nursing theories, where she talks about the adaptation of human to their environment. You know, as I go on to talk about these trailblazers, I come to find that we can never survive our nursing profession without trailblazers. We have some and many of them in right under our noses. They are at work, they are in our families, they are in the community, they are at the hospitals where we work at, and some are even abroad in other countries. So let's start to celebrate these nurses before they are before they pass on to heaven, of course. So let us celebrate these nurses. Let us recognize their achievements for us, because imagine a world without a nurse trailblazer. Imagine a world without innovations that are coming from the nursing professionals. So think of yourself. Quite often we speak about others and we don't recognize ourselves. And come to think of it, we are discrediting ourselves. Sometimes I do that. I've come to realize that the more we give accolade to others and don't recognize ourselves, we are we are not doing any good for ourselves, and we're not allowing ourselves to enjoy the benefit of our endeavors. Um, and speaking to you, as I mentioned earlier, I have founded a nonprofit organization called Nurses in Charge. And currently we are serving in Liberia, West Africa, where I'm originally from, where I was born, beautiful country. And we're also in Jamaica, we're in Trinidad, we're in Nigeria, we're in the United States. We have our nurses are in Canada as well. And we are looking to expand. Did I forget a country? Um, my goodness, we are growing. For an organization that is only 2 years old since we started this endeavor in 2020, no 20 in 2021, we are growing so speedily that it brings joy to my heart. And I wouldn't sit here and give us all of the glory. The glory truly goes to my Lord and Savior Jesus, because this mission, this ministry, has been one of those endeavors that started very early in my nursing career. I started to realize that, wow, nurses need to be connected. And truly speaking, I came this all of these vision came to me, started coming to me years before I even became a nurse. Partly because my mother, who inspired my nursing career, she became a nurse in Liberia. Then we had a civil war, and then by God's grace, we came to the U.S. But once she landed in the U.S. without documents, because the civil war literally robbed us of everything, we ran for our lives. So she really came to the U.S. with no documentations to show that she's a registered nurse. So she had to go back to school from basics. Okay. So with that said, had she been connected to an organization like Nurses in Charge to really advocate for her, like many nurses and doctors come to the U.S. from different countries, and they have to start from the rock bottom. Okay, so we need advocacy, we need connection, And then moving forward to celebrating nurses, when we have a nurse who is graduating nursing school and or have been accepted into nursing school, that's the base, that's the foundation where we start to celebrate their wins. Every wave of achievement is it calls for celebration. I don't know if I'm really getting to you with what I'm saying here, where we need to celebrate nurses. Once we embark on this journey of celebrating our wins, we feel important. It's a mental image that we have to embark on. That mentality that says, I am great, I'm important, I'm doing wonderful things in society, and I will do bigger things. I do greater things beyond where I am today. And we don't want to stop there with nurses coming into nursing, nurses who are currently practicing. We actually celebrate the nurses who are retiring. We celebrate them because of the many reasons, but one and most importantly, that they have given their lives to the profession of serving humanity. So it's not just bringing them a cake and saying, oh, congratulations. It is recognizing them on a global platform, calling all the big shikahunas and saying, hey, we have a nurse here who has dedicated his or her life to nursing, to serving humanity for X amount of years. Why don't you join us in celebrating this nurse? And we all join forces and come and celebrate that nurse. And the more we do that, that nurse will not leave the profession upon his or her retirement feeling worthless, because quite frankly, it's happening rampantly today that nurses feel undervalued, unappreciated. It's like we are the silent members, the shadows that people don't see in healthcare. But take a nurse out of healthcare, take nurses out of healthcare, healthcare crumbles. We are the foundation, we're the middle piece, we're the top piece. So with that said, Nurses in Charge is the organization you should be mingling with. It's the organization you should be looking to join. It's the organization that you should be advocating for sponsorship, for those subject matter experts to come, for those innovators to come and foster our growth and help propel us in the global on the global platform. With that said, are you a nurse trailblazer? Or do you know a nurse trailblazer? We need to celebrate them. I've listed 8 of them today, and I challenge you to please comment to this video, share this video, and please be my guest on the next video. I do these videos randomly. The moment I have a minute or two, I make a video. I am very busy, but I also try to make sure that when the information is at hand, I come and share it. And it's a beautiful beginning, and I'm loving it. So please join me on this mission so that we can talk more about the issues that matters to nursing, the issues that really helps us to navigate our profession, and all those issues that are hampering our profession. We need to have a dialogue on these topics, and we need to support each other. So share this video, like it, share it, and if you're following this video, you are on the right path. Sometimes we follow influencers that are influencing us in negative in a negative means. But I tell you one thing, my mission is to positively influence nurses out there, to positively influence humanity at the best as I can do. So thank you. Have a wonderful day. Have a blessed day. Even better yet, have a blessed day.